Prioritization rules are one of Shape's most impactful features. If you're unsure what that is, when you click on a record type at the top, you'll see your prioritized views down below. What these do is they look across all of the records in the system and they pull specific records at specific points to keep everything organized within your platform. Not only is it used for organization, you can also use them for contact strategies, segmentation, reporting. You can set as many rules and features as needed to be able to pull specific records at specific points. Takes all the guesswork out of what you need to be doing and just puts them in an order that makes sense to you. When you get to prioritization rules, it'll look something like this, where it'll show you all of your different record types. And when you click on one of those, it'll show you all of the lists underneath. It should match pretty much what you have at the top as well. Now in this demo, we already have prioritization rules set and ready to rock, but if you're looking to create a new one, you can easily do so by hitting add new pipeline at the top. I'm going to go through a couple of these pre-made ones just to show some of the different use cases and how to make adjustments. So for example, if we're just looking to organize, we have an LO pipeline here. When you open the Prio view, you'll see a name. Just give it a name, something that makes sense to you. You have a sort by option. So what this will do is it'll pre-sort all of the records that show up on this list view. And you can do it based on when they were created, when they were converted, their last status change date, last call attempt, total call attempts, ShapeIQ, and their last AI score if you have AI summary on your account as well. And you can either do this in a descending or ascending order. This sort by will vary depending on what your goal for that list view is. If it's just kind of a pipeline that shows everybody in a particular status kind of organized, then create a date is perfect. If it's more of a dialer queue, then you would probably want to do it by the last time that they were called, or maybe how many times they have been called. Least amount of calls at the top, most at the bottom, or same thing with the last time they were called, soonest at the top, oldest at the bottom, and vice versa. Then you set your record type. You can have it to individual record types, so leads, applications, loans, referral partners, contacts, prospects, accounts, whatever record types you have. And then you also have the option for all records. This one is an all records view. It looks across all of the different record types, and you'll find those under the leads dropdown. However, you may have one that's specific to your loans, like a funded and past client pipeline that just kind of shows you everybody that's in the status of closed or funded. Of course, you only want loans looked at there. You don't want to show any leads, applications, referral partners, contacts, etc. Once you have your list view created, you also have the option to lock any of the columns that are on that list. I'm going to go ahead and open up a list here in a new tab. By default, when a list is created, you kind of get to choose which columns you have available to you at the time. So like here, I have last AI score, first, last name, phone number, email, and status. I can go in here and adjust which columns I want to use and make any tweaks just for my login. But if it's a team list view, so you're kind of showing it to all of the different users, you can lock those columns so that individual users can't go in there and move their columns around or make any adjustments. So you can toggle that on, hit manage columns, and just set whatever data points you want them to have on this list. And this is individual to each list view that you see here. So the LO pipeline may have certain columns of data you want to make sure that are pulled up, but a funded and past clients pipeline may have its own. So you can individually set those for each list view rather than setting it once for all of them. And then kind of last but not least here, you have visibility settings. So when it comes down to who can see that list view when they click on the drop down at the top, depending on what the list view is doing, it may be for all users, it may be for certain teams, or it may be for certain departments. When it comes to visibility, you want to make sure you use one of these, not all three. just because when it comes to visibility, you want to make sure the right departments can see the right things. So if it's based on user, based on team, or based on department, just use one rather than using all three. I'm going to leave this as all users. Go ahead and submit that change. With these individual lists, each one will also have multiple rules that tell the list who should be included and when. So this is a pipeline view. So it's going to show a bunch of different records based on their status in a certain order. So we have new leads at the top, attempting contact below that, contacted follow-up below that, appointment scheduled below that, and on down the list until we get to the things that we prioritize least, which would be like not interested, invalid contact info, do not contact, etc. If I open up this rule, you give that rule a name. So in this case, it's new leads, which will match the name that you see in the blue bar here. So same thing with attempting contact, whatever you want this blue bar to be named, that is what the priority info bar display name will be. Then you have a bunch of options for setting who should see what. So we can exclude statuses. So if we want to include certain statuses but want to exclude others, absolutely. Same thing with including statuses. If we're not looking to exclude but we want to include, we can just set whatever statuses we want included here. Sometimes it's just one. Sometimes you may have multiple that you want to include in this one section. Then you also can do it based on marketing channel type, their source, or whatever tags they may have as well. So tons of options when it comes to just including people based on status tag, source, etc. Down below, you'll have your field filter rules. These will vary depending on, again, what it's looking to do. In this case, it's just a new lead list. So if they're in the status of a new lead, we want to show them there. And that's it. That's the only thing we're looking at. But if we go to a different one, like a call queue, this one's going to have some different sections. Take a look at new lead. So again, it's looking at status, but we have some additional things on top of that to make this more specific and a little bit more dynamic because it is a call queue. We have it based on created date here, that their created date has to be within 30 days. So super straightforward. Just depending on what you want it to do, you could say not within, equals, greater than, less than, and you have a bunch of different preset options here, like last distribution date, the last contact attempt, how many contact attempts, total call attempts. In this case, we have less than 3. Last call attempt date, last status change date, and next calendar event date. Over here on the right, you can set whether it's days, minutes, or hours. So these are fully configurable to you. You can adjust them as you see fit outside of what you have out of the box as well. When it comes to something like a dialer queue, we want to include the total call attempts and maybe even the last call attempt date on there so that the list is dynamic based on how many calls are going through the system at the time. So in this case, we have less than 3 call attempts. If it's more than that, do not show it on the list. Same thing with last call attempt date. We can say if their last call attempt date is not within, let's do hours, and let's say 8 hours. So if I've called it within 8 hours, it's not going to show on the list view anymore. So now when I call it, it kicks it off the list, kind of keeps things dynamic. So I'm not double calling. My list view is getting shorter as I'm going through my day. And you can include these on as any of these field filter rules. Makes things super simple. You can also get even more specific with it. So we have these preset sliders that you can easily use, but you can also add field filter rules on top of that. So in this case, we already have one, actually 2, that says if the source does not equal inbound call, show them here. Same thing for text. If the source does not equal to inbound text, show them here. The only thing to really keep in mind with these filters and field filters is that they interact with each other, right? So every single one that you add makes the list view more specific. So how it is now, they have to be in the status of new lead. That's number 1. They can't be in the source of inbound call. They can't be in the source of inbound text. They have to have been created within 30 days. They have to have less than 3 call attempts, and they can't have been called within 8 hours. So all of these filters pile on top of each other so that everything gets more specific. So a pro tip from me to you is to just make sure if you're adding a bunch of field filters and a bunch of filters on top of this list view, to just do those maybe one or two at a time. That way you're not setting a bunch of filters. You go to the list and no one's showing up and you don't know which filter is causing you trouble. Just set a couple at a time. Make sure it's running good, it's doing what you need it to, then come back, add an additional filter as you're going, just making it more specific as you go. When it comes to the different rules, if you want to put them in a certain order, just click and drag. Just depending on what you want as high priority versus low. When it comes down to it, that is subjective. We have best practices in place to show you, like, put it in an order that makes sense to most people, but you can always click and drag to reorder, delete any rules that you know you're not going to use, and you have free control and free reign over these list views to make them more specific to you. I'm going to open up marketing re-engagement. This is another great one. It is set to all records, and what this does is it looks across all the records in the system to see who is interacting with your marketing. So this top rule says text responders last 3 days. We're not looking at any specific statuses or sources. We just have a couple of rules that say that the last text response date has to be within 3 days. So if they've texted into us within the last 3 days, it shows up on this list view. And their record type has to be a lead, application, or loan. So if they're a referral partner or contact, they do not show here. So this is a dynamic list view that looks at when people are texting us back. That way, of course, you get notified when you get a text. Same thing for clicked emails and same thing for opened emails. You can get notified just depending on what your profile settings are set to. But this list view can store those people on the list for however long you need it to. In this case, it's looking at 7 days for email opens, 24 hours for clicked emails, and 3 days for text responses. That way you don't have to search around in your email inbox or your phone for text message notifications. You can just click here, go to marketing re-engagement, and see everybody within the last 1 day to 7 days that's interacted with your marketing. So you don't have to hunt around the system to find them. You can easily pull them up and do what you need to from there. Hopefully this video helps kind of clarify on how prioritization rules work, how to make adjustments, how to make tweaks, just depending on what the goals are for that list view. If you need any help with prioritization rules, don't hesitate to reach out to help@shape.com. Our team is more than happy to take a look at what you're looking to do and help you set that up within your platform. All you have to do is kind of give them the goal of what you're trying to do with that list view so that they can translate that into how the list views actually work and get that up and running within your system super easy. If you have any questions, just reach out, help@shape.com.